Aloha, it's April with Gardening with April. We're just going to review some really fun herbs and perennials that you can do for your home or outside in your garden. The first one we're going to talk about is basil. I have this basil. It's a sweet basil. It's going to get about 12 inches round when it's in its full maturity. It's an annual, so once you plant it, it really loves the heat. You want to get it in a really nice sunny spot in either a window or in your garden. And it's going to be really delicious in herbs as a salad, in salads or soups or stews or sauces. You can also just eat it raw, right off the leaves. So as it grows bigger, it also will grow flowers on the top. And when you see the flowers, you're just going to want to pinch them off. So how you do that, you get your 2 fingers here and then you just pinch it off. And you can eat it. You can throw it on a salad. It's edible. And that's how you're gonna eat and enjoy your basil. Now, if you have it in a pot, you're gonna wanna put water on it and then let it drain through, and then put water on again and let it drain through. If you have it somewhere displayed in your home, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a saucer on the bottom of it so that it doesn't destroy your furniture or your window seal. If you have a cat, you might wanna put a cloche over it just to protect it from getting chewed on by your pet cat or any other pets you might have that like to chew on your plants. It's really fun, it's really easy, and it will die at the end of the season, which is usually whenever the heat leaves. So here in Dallas, that would be around October, November is when ours die down. But those are really fun to have on hand, and they get quite happy and large. The next herb I'm going to talk about here is the French tarragon. These are really good, and also stews, soups, risottos with fish or chicken. When you're cooking this, what you really want to do is pinch off the leaves that you want. If you get a whole stem, once it's large, it gets around 18 inches round. If you take a whole stem, you're going to pull the leaves off of the stem to eat it and throw it in your food at the end. Again, same watering. You're going to just let it drain through and then fill it up, drain through. And this is a really fun one to have on hand. In these 6 inches pots for a standard window, you can get about 5 of them in one window seal. So if that's the space that you're working with, maybe you have a window in your kitchen and you want to have your herbs on hand where you can just grab and eat it whenever you need it, which is so nice. And they smell amazing when you walk into the space. And they're just really beautiful to look at. These are really nice to have. The next one is going to be a perennial. The French tarragon was a perennial, so it'll stay around year-round, again and again every year. It'll come, you'll have it to enjoy. Same thing with this lavender. This is a, hold on. This is a sweet lavender. This is really great for enjoying as both a flower. I hope you can see that in the picture. It's a really beautiful flower. It really bounces off the greenery in the garden. I love how you can enjoy it, but it gets around 12 inches as well. And you can put it in a pot where it'll be happy, or you can put it outside in the landscape. Texas, they like our soil, they like our outside, so these are a really great perennial to have. You just want to cover them in the winter to keep it, especially if it snows, which in Texas it's very unusual. In Dallas, the last 2 years it snowed, so probably won't snow again for another 3 or 4 years. These are really happy and great to enjoy. All lavender are edible, but English lavender is the best for eating. It's the most ideal. This kind of lavender usually has a bit too much oil for eating, but what you can do is you can cut off the stems, hang them upside down and dry them, and then you can use them as floral arrangements in your home, in your closet. They're really great to have in sachets. So you can, after you dry them out, put them in a small fabric bag and keep them in your closet, and it'll keep your clothes fresh and moth-free. So that's really lovely. Now, this is not an herb, although some people call it an herb. It's French tarragon. It's really beautiful. It's got this pop of yellow. It's drought tolerant, so it's really happy here in Texas. And some people do use it in substitution of saffron if you don't have saffron. But these are also pretty in a salad if you wanted to top them or layer them on a cake or something. I've seen that done. It's really beautiful. but those are very tough. So if you're looking for something that's an annual that you can get a pop of color to your home or your windowsill or outside in your garden, they get to around, you want to plant them 6 inches apart if you're doing them in the landscape, but in a pot you can do a 6-inch pot, a 12-inch pot, and put as many as you want in there, and they get, I mean, they are very happy. They're very strong and tough plants. You don't have to be too precious with them. Okay, we're going to go outside now and look at a bit of the flower arrangements we have out there that are also perennial and annuals, just to get an idea of how to display them. So here I've displayed the 6-inch pot layered on top of another 6-inch pot that's upside down to serve as a support, and then the other 3 are around it with some cut flowers for another pop of color to play off of the French Marigold. If you're looking for a little inspiration how to design up your herbs in a way that's more pleasing to the eye and still really enjoyable, if you have it window adjacent as opposed to right in a windowsill where you would have them lined up. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me and it's not too terribly windy. You can see my kids' handprints back there. We have, this is actually, this is going to be a beautiful Shasta daisy. It's already budding up. It's going to get quite large, and they are so happy here in Texas. Again, drought tolerant, which is what we need, heat resilient. And you just come in, you put your finger in it, make sure the water is there and it's happy, and you're not going to have to worry about it dying on you, which so many of our plants here do. In Dallas, it's a real issue for us just trying to get water conservation, which is why mulch is so important. Whenever you are planting anything in the ground or in a pot, you want to make sure that you have it mulched. The other items here we have are another type of lavender. This is actually a Spanish lavender here. Also very, very drought tolerant and wonderful for our area in Dallas. And then a couple of pops of the beautiful French marigolds. Again, they're so easy to take care of, and they just bloom their heads off all year, all season. I'm sorry. They start blooming from the moment you get them in early spring, and they won't stop until fall. So they are very happy Texas plants. And then you can see here, I just have the nice pop of yellow in the chair, the black chair, the side table, and then the layers. I have the 12-inch pot with the Shasta daisy, and it's pedestaled up on an 8-inch terracotta pot that's upside down. And then it has a few other pots around it. So those are really fun. So the Shasta daisies, the lavender, another really good herb that you can have, perennial you can have in your garden, it's going to be sage. I've had sage for years and it does really well here in Texas. These are just coming back from the winter and they get quite large. You do want to cut them back at the end of winter because they can get quite woody, and I really want to enjoy the foliage, not necessarily the wood stems that come along with that as it can get mature. The same thing can be said for lavender. Once you have lavender, you want to cut it back when it starts to get larger in size at the end of winters, just so it also doesn't get too woody, so you can enjoy the beautiful leaves and foliage with the big beautiful blooms to keep it happy. All right, I think that's all we've got today. Go forth and garden lots. Good gardening. Bye.